Hi everyone, and welcome to yesterday's General Hospital recap, which was May 2nd. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps. Now let's get to our normal filter, because this is just so trippy. Okay, I actually like that for today. It makes my bangs look less stupid, because the green filter was like, and I was like, stop. Anyway, I have a low battery, so I kind of have to get through this, like, right now. What is happening to my life? Okay, let's get to it. So at the pier, Anna and Valentine, the Chimera necklace, she says Emma unearthed it. Then what she was thinking of the past, the Chimera project was the last secret she asked him to steal before it all went wrong. It was a symbol of what could have been, hope, what never was, and she wishes she could go back to that night in Lisbon. And she cherishes the moment from that night like it was so magical, and honestly, I don't like my bangs, so we're going back to this, because life is life. So Valentine brings up the kill order while she's trying to, like, make this whole atmosphere and ambiance, and she says she wanted him to get away, and he says it was all an illusion, and she says, no, not all of it. And he gives her his jacket because she's cold, but she never asked for it. So she wishes she never tried to manipulate him, and he's like, not tried, succeeded, because, you know, always has to be right. What? Anyway, this green filter, I'm so particular. Anyway, again, low batteries, I gotta get through this. So she never would have ordered his death, and she says she went back across the square in the old church and prayed for forgiveness to the saint who's the patron saint of missions, and he has doubts. He's like, well, maybe you prayed to that saint because you didn't carry out your mission, not because you felt bad about what you did to me. So she says her regret isn't losing the secret of the Chimera project, it's losing him, and the necklace reminds her of the 2 hearts she broke that night. I know she's being all spy, but she is laying it on thick, and even I'm buying it a little bit. Like, I'm kind of concerned. So Valentine's gonna go home, but magically she's in pain again. It kind of resurfaced, who could imagine? So he says he'll drive her home, and she, like, leans on him to get to the car, and I was like, oh. So they get in the car, and it's not starting, which is weird, because he just drove here in this. What are the chances? And he'll get her an Uber, and there's one on Lincoln, which I thought was, like, far away, but I mean close, but it seems like it's far away. So they have another few minutes together. So she asks him to stay with her. He does. It's his car, so why wouldn't he? Oh, because the boat launched. Never mind. See, this is what happens when I try to be sassy to myself. So she says she doesn't consider them mortal enemies like he does, but he gets to make the rules because she's the one in the wrong. She's the one who says that, by the way. So she says she's grateful he didn't seek revenge and give the Chimera project to the DVX, and he says, well, they weren't the only ones interested, and she's like, well, did you give it to anyone else? And we'll get back to that. At the penthouse, Jason doesn't know how he knows what the Chimera is, but he does, and he feels he was meant to see this, but, like, it would have, like, had to randomly wind up in his hands like it did because Helena had left it to Elizabeth, so, you know, whatever. They say that, not me, I promise. So he has this feeling that time is running out and this needs to end now, and I was like, ooh, I like this. I like when we get in gear. So at Elizabeth's, Franco and Elizabeth come downstairs, and Elizabeth sees the drawing of the Chimera, but they don't know what it is. So why is he drawing weird medieval stuff all of a sudden? Like, he was drawing stuff that was, like, normal, and now it's like chimeras. So Franco thinks on some level Jake wants Franco to help him, and he asks for her approval, and she approves. So they try to Google what the creature is, and he winds up finding it: a chimera, illusion, fantasy, unfulfilled wishes, unfulfilled things. I missed that last word and didn't go back because it was 7 o'clock in the morning. So the phone rings. It's Jason. No, it wasn't. It was this afternoon. No, it was the morning. No, it was this afternoon. So it's Jason on the phone. He asks if Jake has mentioned a chimera, and she's like, oh, you need to get here right now. Like, seriously. So Jason and Sam come over, and they show her the access page in the book, and Eliz shows him the drawing. So Elizabeth says that he's been more and more withdrawn, and they bring up the birthday thing. Franco says they're running out of time, and Jason's like, yeah, I agree. And I was like, is it cold? It was cold today. I think hell froze over, although this was yesterday's. I don't care. I watched it today, like some people do. Hey. So Franco feels that he must have seen this image before because it's so detailed, and, you know, maybe he didn't see it on Cassie Island because that would be, like, so obvious. Well, that's what Jason thinks. So Jason says whether he likes it or not, Jake seems to have a connection with Franco, so do the right thing. And then they leave, and Liz and Franco are like, what? Maybe hell did really just freeze over because, like, what? At the courthouse, Ava, Misha, what are you doing? Misha, woohoo! At the courthouse, Ava is looking for Scott. She's here about her. She's not in trouble. She's all optimistic, and I like this. It'll be a harder fall. Morgan, Scott's assurance that Morgan's pills won't come back to bite her is giving her hope, and she can move on. And I was like, you don't celebrate until something's a done deal. Don't count your eggs before they hatch. So, no, don't count your chickens before they hatch and from the eggs. I can't get sayings right anymore, guys. I've been saying, like, turn over the rock instead of, like, turn over a new leaf or a new stone. Like, I don't know. So, Ava thinks that since Carly isn't on Sonny's side, she can get Avery back. And Scott's like, okay, as much as I want you to be happy, Sonny and Carly are always going to be loyal to each other when it comes to the kids. So if that's why you're happy, then you might want to reassess yourself. So he wants to do something, though, and she wants to do something. He says, no, do nothing. And Carly and Sonny will end her if they find out she had anything to do with Morgan's death. So she's like, okay, she'll back off any Avery talk. She doesn't want to celebrate anything, though, and he still wants her to be optimistic. Things can only get better, right? At the Metro Court, Carly needs information from Lucy about the nurses' ball, and she tries to stay nice. Jocelyn comes up to her, and, she needs her to sign a permission slip, and then she wants to talk about her dad, and they're both unhappy that he had to leave. So Sonny then walks in and wants to talk to Carly about Morgan, and, meanwhile, Carly had sent Jocelyn upstairs to, work on her homework a little bit. So the floating rib robbery comes up, his pills showing up, and she asked why he didn't tell her then, and he said he was waiting for some answers. And they're being super civil to each other because, like, this is about Morgan. So she wants them analyzed, and he's like, hey, I already did it. He had them analyzed, results are in. It was the right number of pills, and it wasn't the pills that made him do this because they were fine. And she says, but we have to find out why they stopped working. But he made a copy of the lab report. She thanks him. Her phone rings. It's a lawyer. Not a good time. She has to go. The lawyers want them to meet tomorrow about the division of assets. And Sonny's like, can't we just do this between us and, take what we brought into the marriage? And she says that she already has what's his and she intends on keeping it. So he brings up how she was the one who was unfaithful. And she's like, again, I can't. At the risk of repeating myself, did he not spend months agonizing, thinking that he cheated on her? And now he's all, you know how I feel about this. So she's like, you know what? Come at me with anything, because I own everything. She brings up how he had Jax arrested and deported. That was the clincher for her. She's out for blood now. So Jocelyn comes in and tells Sonny to leave Carly alone. She doesn't forgive him for anything. Jax hurting her mother, and she can't wait for the divorce. And I was like, ooh, Jocelyn. I wish that they would age the kids up, together, because it would make sense, but I like grown-up Jocelyn. I'm not gonna lie to you, she's gonna be another Carly, and we're gonna have a whole bunch of trouble on our hands, just saying. So then she says Morgan wouldn't forgive him either, and he leaves, and I was like, ooh, I like Jocelyn. She's literally a mini Carly. So Carly wants Jocelyn to calm down a little bit. She says the divorce has nothing to do with her. There's a long and difficult history between her and Sonny. She's seeing the worst right now. There's the best and the worst, and she's seeing the worst right now. But they both love the kids, and what Sonny did to Jax was wrong, but he never meant to hurt her, Jocelyn. Carly suggests that Jocelyn go visit Jax for a little bit. Maybe distance will be good for her, but just Jocelyn doesn't want her to be alone. Michael, she says it's he's neutral. He just wants a truce, but she wants to fight by her mother's side and get everything. And Carly doesn't want that. She doesn't want her to have this in her heart. So Jocelyn wants Carly to come with her this summer to Australia. But she's like, I'll come visit, but, I'm not going to move there. And, Jocelyn wants her and her dad to get back together, but she's like, I wouldn't want to use your dad as a crutch. That wouldn't be fair to me. That wouldn't be fair to him, and that wouldn't be fair to you. And she says she's not staying here to make up with Sonny, and they're going to head out. But Jocelyn points out that she's still wearing her wedding ring, so what does that mean? Right, Mish Mish? What does that mean? At the Haunted Star that we haven't seen in a while, Sonny goes to the bar and there's a woman there and she strikes up a conversation and he says something marriage and drinking your troubles away, this, that, and the other thing. And he says he won't be married for long. Can he buy her a drink? And I was like, you literally just gave Carly the 3rd degree about being unfaithful and now, being unfaithful within 24 hours and now, like, can he be this self-unaware? Is that a word? Unaware of self? Like, seriously. So $5 says that this is Carly's divorce lawyer, by the way, because I don't recognize her, and they are being really cagey about showing Carly's lawyer. So, then they talk about their mutual love of beaches, and then Ava and Scott walk in and see Sonny with this woman, and I was like, you know what? I ain't even mad. Now end scene. Sonny and this woman are flirting pretty hard, and Ava wants to intervene. And Scott's like, no, and they're going to leave, and Sonny's going to leave, and the woman leaves something on the table. It's her room key, because she's staying at the Haunted Star, and he leaves with her, and I'm like, oh my goodness, honestly, I think hell has frozen over, because I'm with Ava on this one, and if you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you know how hard and how much has had to happen for me to say that. I'm not saying I'm a fan of Ava, because I'm not there yet, but, like, on this issue, I'm with her. I'm not gonna lie. He's ridiculous. Carly thinks about why she's still wearing her ring. Anna tries to get information if Valentine gave information to someone else about this Chimera project. He won't tell her, and her car's here. He's going home, and she's frustrated because she was like almost there, and not quite. Jason and Sam are back home. Sam says whatever Helena did to Jake and Jason, it's tied together, and he thinks so too. And this is the key, and he's gonna go back to Castine Island because he thinks that's where all the answers are. Franco says something. Franco says that he saw something online that he didn't tell Elizabeth about because he didn't want to scare her. But apparently, when a chimera appears, it's foreshadowing disaster. Yeah, that's not dramatic at all. Yeah, I agree. But that is it for yesterday's General Hospital recap. Officially caught up, kinda. Gotta watch today's. But I will see you tomorrow for more General Hospital, and I hope you have a great day. Alright, bye!